Hello everyone, my name is Moran Cherkes and I'm a co-founder of Bowlers app. I'll be talking with you today how to actually start a soccer football academy where you guys actually live. So just to give you a few words about myself before I actually start, I've been working with a lot of academies around the world. Some of them are my personal academies. We've launched our own academy in Stockholm and in Gothenburg together with my partners that work in Bowlers app. And we've grown our academy from last year in April today. 1 year it took us to bring up to 260 players that we work with in that specific location. So to dive deeper into how we actually start academies around the world is this. I'll be giving you a quick overview of how we actually do that. So first you have to define the mission and the vision that you guys have. Some people, they want just to work with youth. Some people want to actually provide pathways for pro athletes to move to a specific country, to go to higher divisions, or they just simply want a community engagement. But if you're looking from a business perspective, my advice is always to start youth development. So I'll be writing things down and I'll be explaining why. The first reason why, there is a lot of youth that want to play football, so the market is big. Another thing is that this is a subscription-based business, and the great thing is that once you have young athletes coming in, that's the way you can actually monetize the most. Pro players, they're already either in college, they're going to high school, and they cannot be as committed as youth could be. And they're also funded by parents. So parents are the ones who pay. So from a business perspective, my advice is always to have monthly subscription-based academy instead of having termly. Or if you're looking to maybe organize camps, I would definitely advise to start off with a youth academy. And this is where you guys can hit the highest margins. And this is where you guys can build your monthly recurring revenue. So you exactly and can predict the amount of revenue that will be coming in from your academy. The next thing is you need to decide how to actually create groups and how to make sure that players that are within the same group are actually the same level. That's one of the hardest things once starting the academy. The reason why is because once you start outreaching to people, once you start maybe doing Facebook ads, which I highly recommend you to do, this is one of the things that has helped us a lot scale this type of academies. So the hardest thing is to match the group ages in the beginnings and to match the levels. And how we actually do that, I'll be quickly explaining how we do that. So the first thing is we open, let's say, pre-signups. So what we do, we say that our academy is going to be launched within 2 months from now. So 2 months, I'm only thinking about registering players. And these players, they need to prepay for the academy. And once they pay, I know that they're confirmed that they will actually be participating in the academy. So that being said, you know exactly how many players you're going to be having. And maybe in the beginning, you have to be aware that all of these players will be probably different age, different skill set. And you might have to, in order to grow the academy, in order to launch it, you might have to provide additional slots where you don't put all of the ages and all of the category levels of the players within the same groups. So you actually maybe in the beginning will start off with 20, 25 players, and not all of them can be fit in 2 groups. So maybe you'll have to provide 4 groups with 5 players. Or one group could be maybe 8 players, another could be 2 players, then you could have 10 players into a third group. So it really depends. I would definitely advise to put an extra effort in the beginning until you reach the moment when all of these groups are actually fulfilled with the amount of players that you guys need in order to be profitable. So don't go for the profitability in the beginnings, just go for the building that customer base that you guys have. So that being said, I would conclude it that this is the most difficult step that you could be taking, and something that I would definitely consider into undergoing the actual clients and making sure that they actually stay until you build the group in order to make it sustainable for itself in the terms of how much it is generating and how much you have to spend on coaches, on fields to run that actual group. The second thing is you guys need to take care of the legal and business setup. Every country has their own legal and business setup. Countries has different regulations while working with youth. So you guys will have to conduct a research based on how you actually want to run the business and what type of documentation you need, what type of licenses you need in order to have an academy up and running. So the next thing is build the coaching team. This is one of the crucial things in building the academies. The first and main reason why is because coaches are your product in the end. They're the ones who engage with the players. They're the ones who are taking care of the players. So I highly recommend that in the early staging, no matter how high your position is, that you should be involved in a day-to-day trainings with the players, I would say in first 1-2 months. The reason why is because you simply want to educate your coaches how you want them to be handling the communication with players, the training sessions itself, the schedules. So you need to be involved as much as you can in order to give coaches the necessary resources, tools, and advice that you have in order for them to sustain one group. And when to introduce the coach. So if you're just starting out, I assume that you probably will be on the field by yourself until you reach the moment where you have to introduce the coach. From my perspective, I would say that's not a good move. The reason why is because then you're moving from a business activities. If you're actually launching the academy, you don't want to be in the trenches and in the rat hole where you actually just start circulating around these training sessions. And then your full focus is on getting better as a coach, but not as a business developer. So my advice is to introduce the coach from the beginning and make sure that the coach has enough experience, that he has all of the resources that he needs from you as a business owner in order to sustain his group. And like we've said, as we're going to be launching pre-signups before we actually start the academy, we know how much these players will be generating in monthly recurring revenue, and is this monthly recurring revenue enough for us to pay the field, to pay for the coaches, and if not, how many more players do we need to enroll in order to go to a break-even point? So that being said, I would calculate based on my monthly training fees and the amount of players that I have. Let's do a rough calculation. So what I would consider in the rough calculation is coach salary. Second thing is field rentals. And I would add some unexpected and other costs. So these are some of the other costs. Of course, you can include here marketing and many other things, but this is just a rough calculation. So that being said, let's say that we have a price for our academy of $100. This is just an example, guys. I'm just trying to make this calculation as easy as possible. So if we have, for example, 25 players, that will result in 2,500 monthly recurring revenue for our academy. That being said, we might have to actually spend money on the fields. I don't know what type of money you guys have to spend on the field where you guys are. I would always look for a small field with less availability, but of course you already know that. So that being said, let's say that coach at this point costs us, let's just use $900. I'm really not sure how much coaches are valued at where you are, especially depending on the level probably. Field rentals, we can say that the field could cost you up to 1,500 in this case scenario. That being said, you might go negative in the first month. So in total, this will be probably costs. So total cost, and we can say that here we're gonna have a cost of, let's say $1,000. So 2,500 plus 900 is going to be 3,400. So you guys will be negative in the end of $900, which is completely fine. But we're not taking under consideration that you guys have purchased the equipment. So in case you have the equipment The initial costs of starting the academy will be lesser. But in case you don't have the equipment, you probably will need to invest certain amount of money into making sure that you guys have the necessary equipment, such as soccer balls, cones, hurdles, speed ladders, and so on and so on. Regarding training location, I've seen some of my partners, they go directly to the rental fields and they do certain collaborations. The way they do collaborations is simply having a long-term contracts with field owners and make sure that they will be actually renting the field for the XY years. The reason why is because that gives a security to the field owner and making sure that somebody will actually be occupying their fields. And based on the amount of sessions that you guys will be having within that actual field is probably going to affect your price on the rental of the field. So if you can guarantee 10, 15, 20, 100 sessions a month on that field, I would use that as a leverage in the negotiation with the field owner. And the way I would do it, I would set up a price based on one session that I'll be holding there. That being said, if I'm going to be having 40 sessions a month, I would multiply it by their price. So let's say that I'm going to be having 40 sessions a month. That would mean that that field could cost, let's say, $100 a session. So we will multiply 40 by 100 and we will be ending up with $4,000 in the amount of cost that we would have. So that's about that. If we go to the next thing, you want to start thinking about what is making you different than the other academies, how you actually approach your training sessions. And one advice that I always give to my academies, start thinking big. So don't just isolate yourself by working in one single location. Start digitally as well as you're starting locally. For that reason, what is one of the reasons why actually we created Bowlers app. Bowlers app is a training platform that is supporting academies with additional training sessions that can be done through different models. One of the models is by you being live streamed within our app, so players can stay at their place, at their garden, at their home and train with you as a coach or as an academy. Another thing is you can be teaching your players regarding many different things like how to eat properly through the presentation, how to actually sleep, how to rest, how to recover. So you guys get more than 55 presentations from Bowlers app within what we do. So you guys can actually work with your players on the educational side of things. That's something that Bowlers app is supporting academies with. And it's not just that. What we also do, we invite top players that play in the highest leagues, Champions League, Europa League, that play in their national teams to participate in the masterclasses, the live streamings that are organized by Bowlers. So your players, they're also able to participate in everything that Bowlers do. Regarding training curriculum, you want to be thinking in this direction. What do I actually want to help player with? Do I want to help him get better technically? Do I want to provide 360 program for the player? Do I want to be specialist in shooting? Do I want to be specialist in dribbling? So what is my academy putting focus on when it comes to player development? Regarding marketing your academy, so our partners, they use a system called Go High Level for everything that they do within the academy. This is not just for marketing, this is also helping academies streamline, organize all of their processes that they have and create systems that will make sure that your academy can last long and that you don't guys have missed messages from people that want to come to a trial, that you don't have unpaid invoices. So this is something that Go High Levels helps you with. I will be attaching a link down below in this video description so you can actually see and visit Bowlers app, and you can also see and visit Go High Level system that we help our partners actually start using and start leveraging the power that it has. So I will be showing you how you can actually market and how you can be bringing more players to your academy consistently. For that, I will be using something called Whimsical so I can visualize everything that we do. So there is different ways that you guys can market. One of that is email marketing. So you get a list of emails, or you already have a list of emails that you want to use in order to bring these players to the academy. Another thing is you want them, you want to reach them through the social media. You want to create content, you want to create videos, you want to be promoting. But the most efficient and the most powerful way that we figured out are ads. Ads are something that have changed the way we actually scale the academies. And the way ads work is quite plain and simple. And I'll be showing you exactly how it works. So the next step is, I'll be taking you through this. I'll be showing you the flow of how ads work for one of our partners. So this is the way ad looks. It might be a bit blurry. So once they see the ad, once they see, okay, this is the academy, maybe I want to train, or maybe I want to send my kids to a training. The next thing is, you will be sending them to a Facebook form. Here, they will be signing up and they will be leaving the information like their email, their phone number, and after that, they will be able to maybe book a trial with you. So if I put that into a real example, I will be showing you one of the ad accounts that we run. So if I choose one of the campaigns that we are currently running, this is how the video looks like. So we have a person talking. We have a person talking about our academy. It can be coach on the field. It can be like this in the office. I always advise that somebody should be on the field. The reason why we didn't have anybody on the field is because we already had a strong brand and people knew about us. So they only had to sign up. The next thing would be, after they see, they have this button, learn more. So they'll be clicking on that button, and what's going to be happening, they will be ending up on a form that looks like this. So the form, I'll be translating the form to English. So here we have questions. Where do you guys live? So as we have multiple locations for this academy, we wanted to know where can we send this player to. Then, in which program they're interested in. We have one mentorship program that's happening online, like I've said. Then we have a program for the development, and then we have an intensive program. So these are basically 3 offers that we have within the academy. And this is how we actually knew what things that they were interested in. Here we collect all the information needed in order to get in touch with the academy. It might sound overwhelming to you, and in case you guys maybe want to have it done for you, you can always come down below. I will attach a link and you can schedule a call with me. I can be taking you through everything that we do, and I will be advising you in case you need that. So free call, you can just schedule it down below. I'll make sure that you guys get the value out of contacting me. So this is the way we actually approach everything that we do regarding the marketing. So one thing, have in mind, go high level, system that we use to communicate, to organize schedules, to actually have all the contacts within one single place, so we can simply communicate with all of the members that we have. There is much more things that we do within the Go High Level, but I'll be covering that in a different topic. You guys can also automate SMS, emails for the player onboarding, for the invoices. There is a lot of more things that you guys can do, but I'll be covering that in another video. Like I've already mentioned, start the pilot program. Here, one of the advice is just to start with 1-2 ages. My advice, if you want to just scale quickly and grow quickly, if we go back here, go for the pre-signups, open for all the categories at once instead of just having 1-2 category. In case you build, you live in a city where there is a lot of population, where there is a lot of demand for soccer academies, you guys maybe are able to start with only 1 or 2 age categories, making sure that you have 10, 15, 20 players within one category, and then move onto another category. My advice is to start with multiple categories at once and make sure that you guys can fill them up later on once you already started with the academy. So this is what I was thinking about pilot program. Focus on player development. Like I already said, you gotta have a curriculum. Use Bowler's app to make sure that you can engage with players digitally, that your academy has something that nobody else's academy has. In order to see more about what Bowler's app does, I'll also attach the link down below so you guys can explore that as well. And there's one more really cool strategy that some of our partners do that is more applied to the academies that are just serving as additional development. And these academies, they are not competing. So if your academy is not aiming to compete, if you maybe just want to go on tournaments or you just simply want to develop players on a training sessions, what I would do, I would start approaching clubs that are in the region where my players live, where I have my own academy. And what I would say to the academy, let's say that your monthly price per academy is $100 a month. What I would say to the clubs that are around me, schools, I would tell them like this. Every player that comes to me for additional development, I'll be giving you $25 a month recurring. So that being said, if they send you 10 players, you guys will be paying them $25, and that will be your cost of $250 a month. But you got referred 10 additional players. And that being said, you're keeping $75 per player, and that is resulting in $750 monthly recurring revenue from the referrals that you've received. So this is the way that you can grow your academy by partnering up with local clubs, schools, academies that do compete in case you're not competing. Basically, you're not a competition to them. You're not in a conflict of interest. The reason why is because you're not competing. You're just developing players additionally, and they should be happy about it because there is a partner that is developing players for them, with them, and they also get paid for it. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll make sure that you guys receive more videos like that in case you find it valuable. So in case you are looking for anything that I already described within this video, check the links down below and make sure that you explore them. And in case you want to get in touch with me, just schedule a call and I'll make sure that you guys get the information, get the questions that you have answered. Thank you guys for watching.